Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update video for you guys today. If you guys like my videos, please give them a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys picked up recently. But I got a bunch of stuff here to talk to you guys about today. But first up here, I got from Cinedigm, and that is the Farscape The Complete Series here on Blu-ray, the 15th anniversary edition. This is a show that originally aired on the Sci-Fi Channel from 1999 to 2003. I remember catching a few episodes here and there back when I was in high school, or like just getting out of high school, and I always kind of really enjoyed it. It's about this astronaut by the name of John Crichton. He goes up into space on one of his missions and gets caught in this wormhole and gets transported to this other world where there's like different monsters and blue people, and he gets imprisoned by these people, and he tries to figure out how to get out of there, and pretty much the rest of the show is pretty much him trying to figure out how the hell he's gonna get back home. You know what I mean? But it's one of those shows that's just really kind of cool because it has the the cool Jim Henson, the puppets and stuff like that. It's really kind of cool. It's also one of those shows that really reminds me of like Star Wars a little bit, with the certain effects that they used back in the day. And this show looks really phenomenal on Blu-ray. The first season or so, like halfway through the season, you get the 4:3 aspect ratio on the episodes, which I think that's how they were originally shot. But as the show progresses, you get the fill the screen with the widescreen image of the show on here. But on this Blu-ray set here, you get all 88 episodes of the complete series here, digitally remastered in HD. You also get a feature-length making of documentary on the show with the cast and crew talking about their experiences and how much fun they had making the show. If you guys are a fan of the show, just want to let you guys all know it's out on Blu-ray now. It's just a really cool, sci-fi show. If you guys are into stuff like Star Trek or Star Wars, it's all kind of the same thing. If you're a sci-fi nut, you guys probably already know what this show is. But check it out, Farscape. Alright guys, next up from Warner Brothers is The Man of Steel here on Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy combo pack here. You guys all know I saw this movie with Andrew this past summer. Wasn't really my favorite. It was just another origin story of Superman and how he became what he is today. From coming from Krypton, being sent down to Earth to live with this other family and stuff like that. I thought Zack Snyder was a good choice to pick to direct this movie, but there was just some different little plot points in the film that really kind of took me out of it. Like the way they would edit certain scenes and the way they would show you the story in this film really took me out of this film when I saw it in the theaters this past summer. But the action was amazing, and I gotta say, the Blu-ray transfer on this looks absolutely gorgeous on Blu-ray. But the one thing I wanted to see on this Blu-ray set here, because Zack Snyder put out Watchmen a couple years ago, and he had this cool special feature on his Blu-ray where you can watch the film, and during the film he would cut in himself talking about the film and different parts of the film that they were working on and how they shot certain stuff. And they have that same sort of special feature on the second bonus disc in this little collection here, where you get like him popping in talking about how he shot this scene and that scene, and different cast and crew members popping in as you're watching the movie, talking about how long it took him to shoot this scene, and how that last battle between Superman and Zod, when they're fighting through the city, crashing through buildings and things, and how they were just on like a 10 by 10 or 20 by 20 green screen set, and they're only like 2 feet off the ground, maybe. You know what I mean? It's just kind of cool to see that, and then to see them like bursting through buildings, but yet they're only like this far off the ground. You know what I mean? It's just kind of cool to see that. And also, Zod's suit, or Michael Shannon's suit, that he has in the movie, was pretty much all digital. All he was wearing was like this little black jumpsuit thing, and they just like digitally put it on him. I thought that was kind of cool. You get a lot of cool special features on this. If you're a fan of Superman and this film, you'll totally dig on the special features on here. But as a film, it's definitely not my favorite Superman movie of all time. I still gotta say I love the old school ones. I even like the one with Richard Pryor. I believe it was Superman 4, which is probably probably the worst one of the whole Superman franchise. But I still like it just because I like Richard Pryor. But that's the Man of Steel here on Blu-ray. Check it out if you guys are a fan of the movie. And next up here from Warner is We Are the Millers with this cool little lenticular cover here. I didn't get to see this one in the theaters. I was going to, but I don't know why I missed out on it. But on this Blu-ray here, you get the extended cut of the film, which is about 9 minutes longer than the theatrical version. And that's the one I watched last night. And man, I gotta say, this is one of the funniest movies I've seen this year, next to This World's End, or The World's End with Simon Pegg. This one and that one are like my top 2 favorite comedies of 2013 right now. And it's pretty much about this veteran drug dealer played by Jason Sudeikis. One day he gets beat up, he gets kind of roughed up by some ruffians out on the street, and they take his drugs, they take all the money that he has on him. But then Jason Sudeikis has to go to his boss, a drug dealer, a big kingpin, played by Ed Helms. Ed Helms says, well, you have to pay me back somehow. So Ed Helms sends Jason Sudeikis' character off to Mexico to pick up this big shipment of weed to transport it back over the state lines. And it's pretty much how Jason Sudeikis is trying to pull this off by putting together this, a little family that he doesn't really have, and he just puts together his next door neighbor, this little weird little kid that lives next to him, this one street girl that just she's like a runaway, and Jennifer Aniston's a stripper in the film that he lives in the same building with, and he forms this little family with them, says he's going to pay them each a certain amount of money, and a little hilarity ensues from there. I thought this was just an amazing funny film, and you get on this thing here, you get a handful of behind the scenes making ofs. You get an extended outtake reel, gag reel on this Blu-ray, which was absolutely funny, where the actors would talk, have different ad-libs for different lines and make up different things on the spot. And if you guys love comedy and you want to laugh, definitely check out We Are the Millers. Absolutely hilarious. And next up over here from Blue Underground is Maniac Cop 2. Boom! And Maniac Cop 3, the unrated version here on Blu-ray. If you guys don't know the Maniac Cop movies, man, these are the action horror films that came out. I believe the first one came out in like 88 or 89, and these ones came out in the early 90s. And it's pretty much about this one cop. He's really good at his job. He's always busting all the bad guys, and he's really making all the city officials mad for doing so. And then these other cops and officials put him in jail with the people that he's locked up over the years. And they hurt him. They hurt him bad and kill him. And it's pretty much him coming back from the dead to get revenge on the people that killed him and just other random people along the way. But in Part 1, it stars Bruce Campbell and Tom Atkins, and Part 2 here stars Bruce Campbell also for a little while, and then it gets taken over by Robert Davi, that gets put on the case to try to find Matt Cordell, the Maniac Cop, and try to stop him from his killing spree, But on this Blu-ray here, you get a 60-minute making-of documentary on the film here, made by Red Shirt Pictures. The guy Michael Felsher that does a lot of the special features for the Shout Factory releases. He made a really cool, behind-the-scenes documentary on this, which is totally worth watching. They also did it for this one right here too, Maniac Cop 3, which is a 25-minute making of documentary on here, and how they talked about how they really didn't have a director for this film, and even on the credits of the film they called the director Alan Smithy, because there was all these different producers and other people involved in the making of the film, all trying to put their 2 cents in to see to see their vision on screen, and it just became one big mess of a film. And even at the final cut of their first edit of this film, they only had a 50-minute movie, and they had to try to figure out what the hell are they going to do with a 50-minute movie, because movies have to be at least like 80 to 90 minutes long. It was just kind of cool to know the little backstory on the making of Part 3. But guys, if you're total horror fans, these are must-haves in your collection here, put out by Blue Underground. Totally check these ones out on Blu-ray, guys. Next up right here from Sony is White House Down here on Blu-ray, starring Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. I'm not even sure how you say his name. Is it Channing Tatum or Channing Tatum? I don't know. But it's about Channing Tatum. He's a Capitol police officer. At the beginning of this film, he gets turned down for his dream job of being like part of the secret police to guard the president. And as he's in the White House, he's there with his daughter. So he decides to take her on this tour of the White House. And as he's doing that, these people come in and take over the White House. And it turns into like, Die Hard in the White House, just like, Olympus Has Fallen was. But this one just actually entertained me a little bit more than Olympus Has Fallen, because I really like the chemistry between Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx in this movie. I always really like Jamie Foxx in films. I think he's a pretty good, comedian turned actor. I really do like his performance in this. He plays it serious, but he has his funny moments in there. This one is actually directed by Roland Emmerich, the guy that made Independence Day in 2012 and all those big disaster films. And he knows how to shoot action films, fun popcorn flicks, you know what I mean? Still, I found this to be really enjoyable, a fun, popcorn action flick. But if you guys have never seen it yet, definitely give it a chance. I like it a little bit more than Olympus Has Fallen. Alright guys, next up from Disney is Planes here on Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy combo pack here. This movie is pretty much about this crop duster plane named Dusty that's afraid of heights and always has this dream to be part of this around the world race that all these other planes do once a year. And it's pretty much him getting into this competition and competing to fly around the world. I thought it was a cute little film about about this plane. It's definitely not one of the best Disney Pixar movies ever made at all. It's from the creator of Cars and stuff like that. You can see some of the same same animation style in this one. But the big reason I wanted to see this is because I knew Sinbad. You guys all know from like House Guest and Good Burger and things like that, has a voice in this, and I'm like, oh, I'm down, gotta see it. You know what I mean? Support my man. It was alright. It's a fun little family film, but it's, like I said, it's definitely not Disney's best at all. You get some behind the scenes on here. You get little animated shorts as special features on here. It looks really good on Blu-ray, but like I said, the animation doesn't look as cool as Toy Story or like Monsters Inc. or anything like that. But if you guys have a family and this sounds interesting to you, definitely give it a chance. There's some funny moments. It's like one of those ones, you know exactly what's going to happen at the end because it's a Disney film, But that's Disney's Planes here on Blu-ray. Alright, next up right here from Kino, and that is Nosferatu, the classic film from 1922. The first time I ever seen this film was back in high school during a film class. And I remember everybody in my film class was going, "Oh God, teacher, why are you playing this?" Like they were like, "Oh my God, no one's talking. It's a silent film. Oh my God, oh no, And I was sitting there going, this is actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like back then, I was still struggling with my with reading and stuff. So a lot of that kind of went by me. But I was watching it for the visuals and just like the Max Schreck's performance of Orlok, because this movie is pretty much about a realtor guy. About this guy named Orlok. He wants to buy a new house in a different location because he lives in Transylvania, and he calls these realtors up and to figure out if he can get a new place. And this one realtor guy goes up to Transylvania to meet Orlok to find out what he's really looking for. And as soon as he gets there, Orlok seems kind of strange, and the realtor guy's like, this guy's really weird. He really thinks he might be a vampire, and then it turns into like a little crazy creepy thing. But this is an unofficial movie based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I just really love the performance of Max Schreck in this. Just the way he would move, his eyes, his long fingers, like just the creepiness of this film on here, and the Blu-ray transfer quality. I think it could have been a little bit better, but it is the best I ever seen this movie look. And definitely give this movie a watch if you guys are true horror fans. You even get a making of documentary on here talking about like the history of the film and stuff like that, which is actually kind of entertaining. And definitely check out Nosferatu here on Blu-ray. Alright guys, next up from Disney is Mickey's Christmas Carol here finally on Blu-ray. This is one of those Disney films that was like half-hour long that came out back, when was it, the 80s or 70s or something? I forgot what the date was on this one, but I always remember you know, the story of Scrooge, you know, Scrooge and him getting visited by three ghosts, the ghost of Christmas present, past, and future. And because Scrooge is just like a miser. He's kind of a guy that's always kind of grumpy about life, and always he's really greedy, really wants more and more and more money. And he pretty much in the story of Mickey's Christmas Carol and Scrooge or whatever, he learns the error of his ways by getting visited by these three ghosts. And it's always one of those, you know, cool Christmas stories I always like watching. And I remember watching this one as a kid, and even on this Blu-ray here, you get a special feature on here called Pluto's Christmas Tree, and that's another short, an old Disney short that I used to like watching, where Pluto gets a Christmas tree, brings it into his house, and Chip and Dale infest his tree and start messing around, and Pluto's like, "What's going on with my Christmas tree?" You know, and he's trying to figure out what's going on in there and try to get Chip and Dale up out of his tree. But definitely, guys, check out Mickey's Christmas Carol. It's only about like an half hour long, but you get a slew of special features on there, which like sing-alongs and stuff like that. But definitely check it out if you guys love Mickey Mouse like I do. And next up right here is Winnie the Pooh, Very Merry Pooh Year, here on Blu-ray. This is a 60-minute long film about Winnie the Pooh's Christmas, and in this film, everyone in the 100-acre wood, like, you know, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, Eeyore, you know, and Piglet and stuff, are writing a letter to Santa Claus, to tell Santa what they want for Christmas. And Pooh sends off this letter, but then he forgets that he didn't write what he wanted for Christmas on there. And the letter comes back, but then he, something happens and he forgets to send a letter in enough time to Santa Claus. So pretty much Winnie the Pooh is like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What are my friends going to get for Christmas? So Pooh, makes up the gifts that he sees that his friends want, and like gives it to them for Christmas. It's a sweet little, film here. I always like the character of Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and stuff like that. But that's the Very Merry Pooh Year here on Blu-ray. Definitely check it out if you guys have, if you guys have a child inside your heart and you guys have a family or something. Definitely check this one out. Next up from Wellgo USA is Ip Man, The Final Fight here on Blu-ray. You guys all know I was really anticipating this film. I'm a big fan of the original two Ip Man movies. Number 3 wasn't the greatest, but this one I was really like having high hopes for it, because in this one, Ip Man, it takes place like 20 years after the second one. Ip Man's a little bit older now. He's trying to settle down, and the wars that he was going through is kind of settling down, kind of going away, and it's pretty much him trying to figure out how he's going to make money, and to keep, just to have money, money flowing in his pocket. So he starts up this school and stuff like that. But this movie just really kind of disappointed me. There wasn't really much of any fighting going on. You know what I mean? It's called Ip Man, The Final Fight, but there was only really like maybe 2 fights in the whole movie, and they were both really kind of short. It was shot very well. The acting was, was fine, but it was just like, where's the fighting? That's what I was waiting for this thing. And it's not because Donnie Yen's not in it and stuff like that. It's just I was just really kind of disappointed in it. It's more of a drama film than it is an action film. And when you go into a movie called Ip Man, The Final Fight, where's the fighting at? You know what I mean? It was one of those kind of things. So, guys, if you guys want to like really want to see this one, give it a rental first before you run out and buy it. Just in case you're like, oh, this is kind of weird, But that's Ip Man, The Final Fight here on Blu-ray. Alright, guys, next up from Magnolia is The Fitzgerald's Family Christmas, directed by Edward Burns, and starring Edward Burns also. This is a Christmas film about a family that's kind of broken apart over the years, and this guy, played by Ed Burns, still lives with his mother, and it's his mother's birthday, and her birthday's right around Christmas time, and he's trying to get his family to visit mother for her birthday. And it's pretty much how Ed Burns is trying to go to each family member, and each family member has like different excuses why they can't make it for mom's birthday party, and it's him pretty much getting madder and madder. And then they don't make it to her birthday party, but they try to make it for the Christmas thing. But it's like a whole movie. It's a movie about family issues and what each part of the family is going through at the time. Like one's going through like physical abuse at home. Other ones are trying to have babies. It's just other like different little family issue things, and how family is, you know, trying to get together for the holidays, you know. And it's like a little story that revolves around the father and everything, and how everyone in the family just really despises him, and how he's trying to come back in the picture now, and how the mother of the family, doesn't want him to come back into the house after all these years, after running out on her and her 6 kids and things like that. It's worth watching. It's one of those ones you would want to rent to check out around the holiday season. But that's the Fitzgerald's Family Christmas. It was okay. Nothing super special or anything. Next up right here from Image, and that is Coming Home for Christmas, another Christmas family movie. Around this time of year, I like watching corny movies like this. But the reason I wanted to see this one the most is because it stars Amy Jo Johnson, and you guys all know her from her TV show Flashpoint, and most of you guys know her from Power Rangers as the Pink Ranger. She's in this. I'm like, I haven't seen her in a movie in a while, and I want to see what she's doing, you know. And in this movie, it's about these 2 sisters that have this fight during one of their weddings, and they don't see each other for years, and the mother and father of this family kind of, you know, split apart because their daughter split apart, and the whole family's kind of in ruins. And in this film, it's pretty much this you know, one girl just trying to get the family back together for Christmas, just like the other one, kind of, you know. It's just like a whole, you know, Hallmark kind of a feel of a movie. Like, you know exactly what's going to happen at the end of this. We gets all sappy and like, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom. Oh, we should have been together all this time. You know, it's one of those kind of movies. I thought Amy Jo Johnson did a good job in her role as the mother in this movie. Definitely check it out if you guys are into corny Christmas movies. That's Coming Home for Christmas here on DVD. Next one up is definitely not a Christmas film, and it is called Am Zozo here on DVD. It's pretty much about these group of kids going to this cabin, you know, on this island, and just to, you know, have a fun weekend. And of course, one of them has to bring a Ouija board, and they start playing with this Ouija board. And of course, this, you know, this dark spirit starts messing with them when they're on the Ouija board, like, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? Like, wait until 12 o'clock, you know. And what is your name? I am Zozo. Like, it kept going back and forth. I am Zozo. It was just really kind of cool. I mean, so some of it's cool. Some of it was kind of just like, there's nothing going on. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a Paranormal Activity kind of a movie, but with nothing like popping out at you. Nothing that's, you know, nothing's really going to get you. Like in Paranormal Activity 3, like the girl gets her hair pulled and she's like dangling there and stuff like that. And this is more psychological. It's more in your mind of like, what's really happening and what's behind that door? You know, and is there really a spirit in the room with them, kind of a thing, you know what I mean? And they shot this movie on 8mm film, so it looks really kind of grainy, kind of has that, you know, like someone painted the movie instead of, you know, shot it on film. It looks kind of cool, kind of weird at the same time. But guys, there's a special feature on here with an interview from a guy that really had a Ouija board and messed with it, and came across this spirit or demon named Zozo. And he was talking about his experiences and how it killed some of his family and friends. And that little special feature creeped me out a lot more than the movie actually did. You know, just him talking about like, oh my God, just the night before he was probably acting it, but it's just like I was in the zone watching what he was saying, you know, and I was just like, oh my God, this is freaking me out. And I thought something was standing behind me and things, but it's not super fantastic or anything. Like nothing's gonna, you know, go ah or anything like that. It's pretty much all in your mind, like I said. But that's I Am Zozo. Alright guys, next up over here is Home Again here on DVD. The reason I wanted to see this film is because one of the stars is Tatiana Ali. And you guys all know her from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She played Ashley in the show. And in this movie, it's about these 3 strangers that get deported to Jamaica. Is it Jamaica? Yeah, to Jamaica. And they're trying to, pretty much them trying to figure out how they're going to get back to their families and lives that they had back in the U.S. and all the troubles that they're going through in Jamaica, because in Jamaica, when you get deported back, everyone there thinks you're a criminal, so they don't want to hire you, they don't want to be seen with you. It's pretty much their lives in Jamaica, and how Tatiana Ali has these 2 kids waiting for her in the States, and how she's trying to live with her, a little bit of her family that she has in Jamaica, because each of these characters were born in Jamaica and they lived there when they were like babies and stuff, and you know, they get deported over there, and it's just their lives and how they're trying to, you know, get back and how they're struggling in Jamaica. It was just a really kind of entertaining film. I wasn't really expecting much from it, but I absolutely fell in love with it. The atmosphere of the film, and it really does look like they shot this film in Jamaica, but I'm not quite sure if they did. But just like the scenery is just really kind of, you know, gritty and, you know, down and dirty, and I really kind of enjoyed a different view of things instead of seeing, like, you know, the suburbs or, you know what I mean, New York or something. It's just a really cool different scenery for a film. Definitely check this one out, guys, if this sounds interesting to you. I really did dig it. Alright guys, last up for my update today is Jim Breuer and Laughter for All, his new stand-up special. You guys all know Jim Breuer from the movie Half Baked, but this is his new stand-up special, and in this special he talks about being domesticated now and how he has a family and kids, and he talks about his family problems, his kids being kind of annoying. And there's also a story that he tells in here back in the day where he used to work at Sears and play jokes on different employees at the different little, you know, stations at work, and what transpired during one of these times that he was messing with somebody. It was absolutely hilarious. I always like watching his stand-up specials. You guys all know I love stand-up comedy, but definitely check out Jim Breuer's new stand-up special and Laughter for All here on DVD. You won't be disappointed. Really, really funny stuff. But guys, that's all I have to show you guys today for this Blu-ray DVD update video today. Give this video a thumbs up. Definitely let me know what you guys picked up recently and what you recommend to me that I should watch and talk about in a video, you know, in my next update or something. If there's something out there that you thought was really super cool that you think I would like, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys all next time.